about 15 miles from the Atlantic coast in the northeast corner of Florida. Welcome to Everbank Stadium here in Jacksonville. About ready to get this one started. Amy Fairbairn ready to kick it off. And off we go from Jacksonville. This one skips the landing zone, goes all the way over the back line, so the ball will come out to the 30-yard line.
Ready up.
They'll come up here, 1st and 10.
Hey, Ron, 30 left.
First run of the game here for DeAndre Swift. And to pick up 3 or maybe 4, it is Azeez Al-Shire with the stop. Here's 2nd and 6.
Hey, easy, route.
Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence. And he'll just bite the bullet and throw this one away. That was a good idea. He didn't force anything there. But now it's going to bring up 3rd down.
Nice example there, Mike, of the quarterback just being smart with the ball, understanding it didn't quite develop the way he had intended. Throw that ball out of harm's way, live to play another down.
3rd and 6.
Hey, go. Silver.
Now here's Lawrence. And the rush too strong. They're in there in a flash for the sack.
Looked like a pass protection breakdown. They had 5 offensive linemen and a running back in the backfield. I promise you, somebody was assigned to that linebacker, but he timed the blitz perfectly. He ran through and was able to bring him down for a big sack.
Jaguars ready to punt this one away. This will be returned from the other side of midfield. And good coverage by the punt team. They stop him before he can get any return cranked up. Crowd begins with a pass. He'll go right and find his running back. And he's taken down inside the opponent's 35.
These were the chunk plays they thought they could get here against this pass defense. They thought the passing game favored their offense in this matchup, and I think we can expect this to be the case the rest of the game.
On the quick, right?
On 1st down, it's Stroud. A hit as he throws there. It's going to wind up incomplete. The pressure got to him that time, and it'll set up 2nd down.
He just rushed that decision just a little bit downfield. I mean, it's one thing to trust your guy to make a play in tight coverage, but I think if he was a little bit more patient in his progression, there was an easier throw out there that wouldn't make him have to throw such a tight window ball and put his receiver in a tight spot.
A gain there of 16 yards. It's good for a Texans 1st down. They'll put Addison in motion. On 1st and 10, here's Stroud. He'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3. 2nd and 7. They motion the slot man left. Here comes 3rd and 6.
Here we go.
To throw, it's Stroud. Now a screen set up for Barkley. He is in. Saquon Barkley. Touchdown, Houston. It's his 2nd touchdown of the year. Fairbairn good on the point after. And the Texans will take a 7-0 lead. And so after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn to kick it off. Here comes the return from a yard or two deep. And he'll bring it out to the 22-yard line. That's where the offense will take the field. So they come to the line for 1st down and 10.
Hey, Lion.
This drive will begin with a run by Swift. And a nice run there. He'll be stopped just shy of a 1st down. A pickup of 9.
This is one of those cases where having high-end speed in the backfield can be such a game changer. The offensive linemen don't need to hold their blocks quite as long. You give this guy a little bit of a crease, and man, he is gone.
Lisa 24. Hey, kill.
Now 2nd down throw for Lawrence. Little short pass here, caught by his tight end.
Really well done here by the defense, Mike, executing this zone defense, and they've got to be able to pattern read. You're not just going to drop back to a spot and just play like a robot. Based on what the receivers do off the line, the defenders have different rules of where their zones move to. Well, they had that one dialed in right from the jump, and they were able to stop that play really before it got started.
Easy.
They go play action. No chance at all. He'll go down.
The best thing they did here, Mike, is keep their rush lane integrity. What that means is you have to rush the quarterback as a unit. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him on that X. And when you do, man, he becomes a sit and duck for this pass rush.
This one, returnable. And he'll be brought down. Short return. And they'll take over there. Now the return man is a bit slow getting up after that kick. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment.
Look the hot. All right.
Stroud to throw here on 1st down. Open man downfield. It's Addison. That's good for 27 and a 1st down.
We talk so much about starting fast and then trying to sustain that throughout the course of the game. That's exactly what they're doing here. They've got the early lead, but they're not content to just sit on the ball. They're looking to extend it. Nice start here to this drive. Once they cross midfield, then it goes into go mode. You're trying to come away with points every single time you have the ball. It's a good way to start this game here in the 1st quarter.
Now a deep ball toward the end zone. He was looking for Jordan Addison that time. And it'll bring up 2nd down.
So, of course, you prefer to connect on that throw, but think about it like this, Mike. The more they continue to test this defense downfield, the more it's going to open up some of those shorter passes underneath.
Throwing from the pistol, Stroud. Short pass taken in by the tight end.
So the hope is when you call these underneath drag routes, you're trying to have your tight end come out the backside of the defense in space. So when you put the ball on him early, it leads to big yards after the catch. In this case, they don't get the real big play they were hoping for, but they'll definitely take it.
From the gun, here's Stroud. And that is incomplete.
a rare miss for a quarterback that we've seen really come out on fire throughout this entire contest. I mean, his completion percentage, Mike, is well above league average, and frankly, it's really the biggest reason why they find themselves out in front.
Fourth down, and on comes Jaime Fairbairn for the Houston field goal. No issues there. This one is good. And the Texans will extend to a 10-0 lead.
And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Texans going to go ahead and use their first timeout here. Here's 1st and 10.
Rip, 23. Here we go.
Working out of the gun, it's Lawrence. That one is brought in by Terry McLaurin. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one.
Really nice job there to move the chains early in this drive, but now as they approach midfield, continue to keep your foot on the gas. Don't get conservative. Don't start sitting on the ball. Cross midfield and go.
Great job.
Anytime you find yourself on your opponent's side of the field, you have to be thinking points.
Gets it away quickly, and it's caught. And they're going to work this down inside the 45.
These hitch routes, they're usually just designed to pick up a few safe yards. An easy completion, get some rhythm for your quarterback. However, this time, he's able to make a little magic happen after the catch and turn it into something much bigger than even they were probably anticipating.
On 1st down, it's Swift. He is met and dropped. A couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage, too.
Well, as been the case this entire first half, it's been the defense that's really carried the load for this team. Some offensive struggles, but they've done more than their part, coming through again with another big stop for a loss.
Last play went the wrong way. It sets up 2nd and long. It's 2nd down and 12.
11, Agate.
In the pistol, here's Lawrence. That'll be caught by DeAndre Swift. And he's taken down on what should be the final play of this first quarter. So they'll talk over what to do on this 3rd down. Here's 3rd and 7.
Hey, run.
Duvernay in motion. From the shotgun, it's Lawrence. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down.
Cam Little for the field goal. A 58-yard attempt.
This one runs out of steam off the crossbar and comes back. No good. And this stays a 2-score game. They bring the tight end in motion. Stroud to throw here on 1st and 10. He's got his man. That's Nico Collins. He's close to a 1st down. It's a gain of 9. Nice pitch and catch on 1st down. A good spot here. 2nd and a yard. From the shotgun, C.J. Stroud. To the tight end, and he fits it in on the corner route. And he's out of bounds all the way inside the 15-yard line. It is a big-time play for Houston. And even 30 yards. They put a receiver in motion to the left. He's trying to get around the corner, but he can't. He's going to be run down behind the line. After the loss of 3, it is 2nd and 13. To throw is Stroud. They'll get this out quickly to Addison. They'll get about 6 before he's taken down.
In a lot of offenses, Mike, these quick passes to the wide receivers really fall under the run category. Of course, they're going to go down as a forward pass, but to a lot of offensive coordinators in the league, it's a lot easier to pick up 1st and 2nd down yardage on these quicks than it is to turn around and hand it off to your running back and count on blocking everybody.
A pass caught by Saquon. And he will score. Saquon Barkley. Touchdown, Texans. His 2nd touchdown of this first half.
We all make such a big deal, Mike, when we see a quarterback go through his progression and deliver a deep downfield strike for a touchdown. But sometimes, just take what's easy, the easy pitch and catch, get an underneath completion. That's exactly what the quarterback does here, takes what the defense gives them, and when you have a playmaker like that on the outside, they can do the rest with their feet after the catch, and the end result is still a touchdown.
Devin Duvernay going to bring it out of the end zone. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 24.
Ralph. Silver.
They'll start on the ground with Swift. And a good job following his blockers, a gain of 7. It'll be 2nd down.
This just shows why you can't count on just one guy to take him down. He's a powerful enough runner. You gotta have guys coming in support when that first hit is made. It takes a team effort to stop him, especially once he gets going.
That's McLaurin open on the left side. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. That pass play good for 22. That's good for a Jaguar. 1st down.
Hey, Lion.
Here's Swift. Ooh. And he shows off a little footwork, winding his way for a run of 8. They'll come to the line now on 2nd and 2.
Lisa 24.
Off the RPO, this one to McLaurin. And they'll pick up the 1st down, a gain of about 4.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch.
And he's brought down after a gain of a couple. They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8.
Rip 23.
In motion comes Thomas.
Here we go.
Lawrence now on 2nd down. To the right side. Catch made by McLaurin. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line.
It's been a rough first half, but now as we approach halftime, Mike, you got to start getting some wins. And it could be something small like we just saw here. Some positive plays, build a little confidence on that sideline. So as you go into halftime, you have something to build on.
And he'll take this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
On red. Think right open. Silver.
Now Lawrence. Quick throw, taken in. And they'll work this close to a first down, maybe just a tad short. Here's third down and a few inches.
All right, let's go.
Throwing is Lawrence. And that's going to wind up uncatchable out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Brian Thomas, the intended receiver. And now it's fourth down.
Teams practice these situations all week long, Mike. Down here in the tight red zone, you find yourself inside the 10-yard line. You're thinking, we've got to come away with a touchdown. Well, after that third down incomplete, it's going to be real interesting to see how they approach this fourth down after failing on third. Pretty simple here, Mike. Every team, they have this sheet up in the box. It's their own analytics telling them when to go for it, when not to go for it. And in this spot, their metrics say go for it, sneaks the call, first down.
What an important sequence this is, trying to get one of those scores back before halftime in a great spot. First down, and that one, take it in. Brian Thomas, touchdown Jaguars.
Well, after being shut out in the first half, it has to feel good for this offense, Mike, to just get on the board, get something going. But now the question we have to ask is there enough time to come all the way back?
Yeah, just some belief, right, Greg? Just let's watch these guys on the next few drives. Did that give them a little belief that they can stay in this game? Best way to start with that score. Little now following the touchdown, out to kick this one away. This one taken at the 7. Nice job on the return. He's down close to the 35-yard line.
At their own 34-yard line.
First and 10.
Hey, uno more. Oh, eh? Nike Texans.
Stroud going to set up to throw. He's going to take a shot down the field. And that is incomplete. He was trying to find Saquon Barkley coming out of the backfield. And it'll lead to a second down.
Here we go, let's go. Hey, uno. Why Tony?
Here's Stroud. The ball deflected at least a couple of times, but it'll fall to the ground. It's incomplete.
Pretty clear approach here, Mike. You're just trying to take advantage of the size of your tight end versus a smaller defender, and you're just saying box him out and go up for an offensive rebound and get the ball at its highest point. In this case, it falls incomplete, but if they can...
And this drive is over before it can start. He's swallowed up to force fourth down. The Jags will use the first of their timeouts here. Clock stops with a little under a minute to go in this second quarter. So on fourth down, here's Corey Bojorquez to kick it away. As the drive went in the wrong direction, he's on to punt it away. And that's a nice job of getting to him, making sure that return was not going anywhere. Ball rests at the 37. It's first and 10.
Think right open.
Now here's Lawrence. He'll let this one go. Deep for Thomas. Oh, the defender able to get his head around and intercepted. Picked off by Kalen Bullock.
When you find yourself in this situation, Mike, you're on defense, you're defending your own goal line, you got to take some chances. You got to try to force a turnover and make a play and get off the field. That's exactly what this defender did. Takes a chance, bets on himself, and comes away with a pick to save them some points.
On the quick, right?
On 1st and 10, here's Stroud. Looking for his tight end on the corner route. He's got it. He's on his way. What a connection. He's down inside the 5-yard line. Here's a timeout, Houston. That's their second, as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. So after the big play to start, now we have 1st and goal. That's hauled in at the 2. And he'll take it on in. Touchdown, Houston. Fairbairn to add the extra point. His kick is good. And the Texans add on one more as they extend their second quarter lead. They didn't leave much time on the clock to put together a drive here at the end of the first half. And the kickoff's coming their way. Devin Duvernay going to bring it out of the end zone. They'll get this up past the 20, and that's where they'll set up shop. So 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 22.
Hey, go, go! Go, go!
Lawrence now. A quick slant on the money to McLaurin. And he's close to a first down to gain a 9. Nice pitch and catch on 1st down.
Really nice timing on that slant route. You can tell the quarterback and the wide receiver are completely on the same page, and when executed at that level, it's virtually impossible to stop.
He'll let this one go. Deep for Thomas. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing 3rd down.
Well, not exactly breaking news here, Mike. They got speed on the perimeter that just not a lot of teams in the NFL have. So even though that ball falls incomplete, I think they have to continue to do it. Continue to pressure this defense.
Oh, he doesn't put it away, and the ball's out. And the defense has it. And so much for a nice gain through the passing game. Not finishing the play, fumbling the football, and the offense has turned it over, Greg.
Mike, give credit to the defender here for not quitting on this play. They just give up a chunk play in the passing game. He stays after it, and instead of just making a simple tackle, he attacks the ball, knocks it loose, and creates a big takeaway for this defense.
And that is incomplete. One final chance does not work out. Time has expired. The first half has come to an end. Coach, thank you. Back here on EA Sports as we count down to the kickoff of the second half. Very one-sided first half of action. Will we get a turnaround? Let's find out. The 3rd quarter is underway. Here comes a return from the 5. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. Set to go now on 1st and 10. To throw, it's Stroud. That'll be taken in by Barkley. And they'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
What an advantage it brings a defense when you have cornerbacks that are such willing tacklers. It just brings an extra element to the ability to defend the entire field. And this is a great example here why.
Here's a 2nd and 6.
Here we go.
Oh, trying to set up the screen, but that is going to fall incomplete.
Throughout this entire game, we've really seen this quarterback operate very efficiently, not only being able to spread the ball to multiple playmakers, Mike, but really complete a high percentage of his passes. So can't let that last incomplete break what's been a really nice rhythm so far.
All right. Look high, look high. 11.
From the gun, here's Stroud. And on third down, that ball incomplete.
So you have to imagine this offense goes in at halftime. They're feeling pretty good about the position they are, especially knowing they possess the ball coming out for the second half. You want to put together a great drive. And
now on the return, he has lost the football. Special teams has come up with the recovery.
These are the type of self-inflicted wounds that the coaching staff told us about all week, Mike, and it's been a real point of emphasis. Anyone possessing the ball, whether that's on offense, defense, or in this case, special teams, protect the ball at all costs, and I can promise you they're not going to be happy with this one.
Robin.
They'll put Addison in motion. On first down, it's Stroud. He'll get rid of it and complete it. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line.
Mike, think back to our conversation during the break. We've kind of both asked ourselves, are they content with this double-digit lead? Do they come out and play conservative here in the second half? Well, it took exactly one play to get our answer.
Stroud to throw here on first down. To the left side, into the hands of Collins. And they're going to get this all the way down inside the 5.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play. And it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest. And that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
2 yards from 6 points. It is first down and goal. Trying to find a crease in there. It's a big pile of bodies, but he is going to come up short. He'll get this out wide. And he's in. Nico Collins. Touchdown, Texans. Now Fairbairn for the extra point. He knocks it through. And the Texans will extend this third quarter lead. And so after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn to kick it off. And this one is fielded in the end zone, will not be returned. So it'll come out to the 30. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10.
Red on red.
The motion man here is McClure. They show jet sweep and instead run it up the middle. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
Heck of an effort by this runner, Mike, just to get back to the line of scrimmage. I think most backs around the league, that play would have resulted in a loss, but not this guy. Continued to fight, continued to do everything he could to prevent the loss, but it still stopped for no gain.
That's thrown right side, but incomplete.
For the most part, he's been very accurate with the ball. I mean, he's completing over 60% of his passes, but because they haven't been able to get any big explosive plays, continue to push the ball downfield, hasn't really translated on the scoreboard just yet.
And they will continue to go backwards. He's taken down for a sack.
We're starting to see in these passing situations, Mike, this defensive line is starting to have their way against this group up front because right now, their pass protection is breaking down and his quarterback's paying the price for it.
Punting unit comes on. Jaguars will kick it away. As this drive went backwards, he's on to kick it away. But he cannot get away. Great job down there to hold him to a short return.
Here we go.
They'll go play action with Stroud. He'll be hit as he throws, and that one will wind up incomplete. Could not step into the throw that time. It'll bring up second down.
Oh, hey.
Short pass taken in by the tight end. And nice work there after the catch. He's a little short of the first down after a gain of 7.
The timing of these RPO concepts, that's the entire key. Remember, Mike, in the college game, they get a 3-yard window that they're allowed to be downfield even on a forward pass. That's not the rule in the NFL. These decisions have to be made quickly. If not, even after a good pickup, you could be coming back due to a flag.
Hey, south. Look to hot.
From the gun here on third down, it's Stroud. Open man, right side. He's got it.
I know, I'm biased. But listen, you can't convince me, Mike, that there's a better option on the field, especially when you got a guy like this, that on third down or critical moments, that's where the ball needs to go. The size, the speed, the matchup problems that he creates. If I was in a critical situation, there is no doubt where I'm going with the ball.
That is brought in. And he's very close to a touchdown. They mark him just shy of the goal line.
If you want to score points at a high level in the NFL, you have to generate explosive plays. And after that big chunk pass play, they find themselves now down there in the red zone. And this is where you have to finish drives.
They try to set up the screen, but this one doomed from the start. It's incomplete.
They let a golden opportunity slip away on that one. That's the matchup that they wanted. They just couldn't quite capitalize on it.
Another shot from the 1 on second and goal. They'll put Addison in motion. Trying to push the pile forward. He didn't even get to the 1-yard line. They stopped him short. No gain.
Well, you could tell that the defense had seen that play on game tape, and they were ready for it. They tried to do a little jet sweep pop pass out of the gun. Defense was all over it. Nowhere to go. No gain.
Once more from the 2. Third and goal.
Oh, hey.
To throw is Stroud. This one caught at the 4. And he gets to the outside and takes it in. Touchdown, Houston. And he continues to remain on fire. That is a rare NFL day. 5 touchdown passes thrown.
And, Mike, at this point, the defense just looks completely lost out there. I mean, they have no answers whatsoever, giving up the 5th touchdown pass of this ballgame.
And so after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn to kick it off. This one is fielded in the end zone, but he decides not to bring it out. So they'll take over at the 30-yard line. They'll come up here, 1st and 10.
On the red.
They'll try the right side with Swift. And he's going to be stopped in his tracks. He'll lose a couple of yards on that one.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on 1st down, but that's exactly the case here.
He'll be hit as he throws this time, and it's going to fall incomplete. And he might be fortunate just to avoid the sack, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming, and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Lawrence. Going for it all. That's to the sideline and intercepted. Picked off by Kamari Lassiter.
This is where an offensive play caller needs to come to the rescue of his quarterback, because this defense, they're onto you. They've got 2 picks. They're starting to pick up on your tendencies. They're shifting guys over to counter them. Now you've got to add some wrinkles. Now you've got to throw them a curveball and try to shift back some of that advantage to your side of the ball.
Here we go, let's go. 11. Hey.
Stroud to throw here on 1st and 10. He'll let one go down the middle. And he's down inside the 40-yard line.
Those are the explosive pass plays that this team is going to continue to mine all day. And you can see pre-snap, the quarterback loved his matchup. He allowed his receiver to work downfield. Perfect throw, and now sets them up to try to see if they can finish this drive off with some points.
There's that man again. Another catch. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line.
All right, Mike, now it's getting to the point where it's almost becoming borderline disrespectful. I mean, despite having this big lead here in the 2nd half, they continue to take shots downfield. They are not content with just running this clock out and shaking hands and going off for the win. Truth be told, I think they're trying to embarrass him, and they're doing a pretty good job at it. Great example of 1st down efficiency. You don't always have to go for the big play, but put yourself in a friendly 2nd down. Now you have equal opportunity to both run and pass.
They'll work now on 2nd and 4. Slot receiver, headed right. Down inside the 10. And the Texans are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. It's a nice run there. It gets them down to the 6. So we'll take it to the other end as we are.
With the score, Texans 38.
From 6 yards out, it's 1st and goal. Here's a run. A 2nd effort, and he is in. Touchdown, Texans. That's his 2nd touchdown of the game. He's doubled his season output. He now has 4. Fairbairn able to add the extra point, and the Texans will add one more onto their big lead. And so after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn to kick it off. From a yard deep, he's going to bring it out. He'll get across the 20, mark him at the 22-yard line. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. Right away, they'll set up to throw. A hit as he threw, and the pass is incomplete. Trying to set up that screen, but the rush got there too quickly.
This has really been the story of this entire game, Mike. I mean, this pass rush has had the advantage over the offense pretty much from the jump, and they've already recorded a couple of sacks, a handful of close calls, and it's the pressure in the backfield is why this team finds themselves with the lead here late in this ballgame.
They get 15 on that game. First down, Jacksonville.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
18 rapid, go!
Back to throw. To the outside, complete to Thomas. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
You know, it's really been a one-sided game, but how often do we see in the fourth quarter the team that finds themselves down by a lot, they start to come alive? I think it's a combination of trying to end the game on a positive note, but also sometimes that defense getting a little lackadaisical.
They'll look to throw again. Right back to Thomas. He's got it again. And they'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
Receiver just finds himself in a really nice groove, and there's these weird times in the game, Mike, where it just seems like every ball comes your way, every play they call, you're wide open, and you just find yourself in one of those grooves that athletes talk about. So they got to continue to ride the hot hand, because right now on that field, there's no mistaking who it is.
They'll try to set up the screen here. They had the right play call. The screen goes for 15 and a first down.
And this is what modern-day running back looks like in the NFL. They want to be able to activate these players in the passing game, no different than they do with the tight ends and the wide receivers. When you look out there and you have a mismatch, you have a linebacker or a safety on your running back, he's expected to win, and that's exactly what he did here.
He's to the 10, and they are not going to catch him. He's in. DeAndre Swift, touchdown, Jacksonville. Well, it's not going to be enough, but at least they find the end zone at the end of a hard week's work. At least a little payoff with a touchdown, Greg.
Mike, you can just chalk this one up in the column of too little, too late. Give credit to this offense for not going down without a fight, but they're not going to have enough time to find themselves back in this one.
Texans 13.
Little now following the touchdown, out to kick this one away. From the 6, here comes a return. And a decent return there. He'll get this up just shy of the 30.
Their own 29-yard line.
So they come to the line for first down and 10.
Here we go.
They'll begin here on the ground. And he finds some daylight. Up past the 35-yard line. A pickup of 7. Here's a 2nd and 3 forthcoming.
All right.
First carry for Saquon Barkley. And he's going to get it. First down, taking this one up past the 40-yard line.
I think this second down call, Mike, they were hoping that at worst they had themselves set up for a third down and short. But there's no need for third down. He was able to get enough on second, and they get a fresh set of downs.
Now a run on first down. He's beyond midfield to the 45. And he's going to be brought down, but not until he gets inside the 35.
This is a combination of footwork and vision, his ability to kind of weave through traffic and understand where the holes were. It's a really nice job working through some bodies and picking up a big gain.
Right back to him on first down. And they'll finally run him down, but not before he takes it inside the 15.
I half expected to see all 11 defenders piled up on top of him at the end of this run to make sure he was finally down, because a couple times on that run, it looked like he was cooked, only to shake off those tackles and keep on cooking.
Now a give to Barkley, running right. And he's got another one. Saquon Barkley. Touchdown, Houston. That is 3 touchdowns in the game and 4 for the season. Fairbairn to add the extra point. He's got it. And the Texans stretch things out even further. And so after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn to kick it off. Couldn't take the chance. They're going to return it from the goal line. And he will only be able to muster the 20-yard line on that return. Here's 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Back to throw here to begin the drop. A hit as he throws there. It's going to wind up incomplete. The pressure got to him that time, and it'll set up 2nd down.
He decides to go with the safe throw and throws it well short of the sticks. And at this level, Mike, you just can't miss layups like that.
Here we go.
Back to the air again on 2nd and 10. They'll look to set up the screen here. And he'll be brought down, but not before they get this all the way up near midfield.
All right, Mike, so the way they teach these screenplays to the offensive lineman is you got to stop the defender's feet. You just don't want him to get a free, clean rush to the quarterback because you're so worried about getting out in front of the back. Make him start his rush over again before you slip out. Ball gets dumped right over the rusher's head. Bang, now you're in the open field.
It's a gain there of 26 yards.
And this is where the speed of your inside receivers are so critical. He lines up in the right slot. But, Mike, look how far he covers to where he ended up receiving that ball. You can't have all day. Those defensive linemen, they are coming after your quarterback. So the speed in the slot is critical. That's a great example why.
So 2 minutes left to play in the 2nd half. Greg and I back on EA Sports after this. Here's 2nd and 6.
Let's go.
Now they'll set up to throw. Trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie out of Georgia. And he's going to bring this one back the distance. Touchdown, Texans. Well, they had a big hole to climb out of, and now it is even bigger. Greg, the defense was waiting for it, feasts on it, and they get to celebrate with a pick six.
Well, a very fitting way for this one to come to an end here, Mike. This has been a completely dominant defensive performance. This pick six here in the 4th quarter ends what has been a total runaway.
And so after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn to kick it off. And no chance to return this one through the end zone for a touchback. Right back to the air following that pick six. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
I can't tell you, Mike, how many of these offensive skill players around the league, they look at man coverage as like a personal offense. After that last completion on the way back to the huddle, I think he had a few choice words for him. I think he said, hey, man, you can't guard me one-on-one. You better ask your coach for some help, because if he doesn't, you're going to be in for a long day.
Duvernay with the grab.
Seemed like the receiver, Mike, ran through like 5 different open zones, but once he found the one that he liked, where the quarterback was expecting him, you see him do a nice job throttling down, secures the catch, and he's able to pick up a nice gain.
And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing third down. He'll look to throw. That's deep for the back of the end zone. That is incomplete. Here we go. They're down to what could be their final play. It's fourth down.
Can't exactly put my finger on it, but it just seems like this entire game, like this passing game and this quarterback specifically, they've just been off. And whether it's missing these big shots downfield like he did there or just simple underneath layups, there's just something about him today that doesn't look right. And I think it's a big part of the reason they find themselves trailing here in the fourth quarter.
Now or never, they'll throw on fourth down. And he's going to have the first down. Aggressive call there, but it works out as they convert on fourth down.
Well, we'll give a little credit here defensively. Even though they allowed the first down, we've seen defenses really struggle bringing this big tight end to the ground, and they didn't allow him to pick up a bunch of yards after contact, but he was able to get just enough to pick up the first down.
This one intercepted. Picked up by Kalen Bullock.
I think he chalked this one up, Mike, to just a rookie mistake. And anytime you have a young signal caller behind center, you're going to have to deal with some of these ups and downs. Every once in a while, they're just not going to see the coverage. They're going to get baited into making a bad throw. That's kind of par for the course. The key is how fast can these rookie quarterbacks turn the page, move on, and not make the same mistake again.
So it's a win for the visiting Texans. They continue their winning ways in the month of September. They're off